We are in Veterans Park of Holyoke, Massachusetts. We're in front of the World War II monument. Every war that residents of Holyoke fought in for the United States, we have in this park a monument. There are a few wars not represented here, but they're represented other places around the city. But this is for World War II, 1941 entry of the United States in the war, 1945, of course, it ended. Dedicated in honor of the 212 people from Holyoke who paid the supreme sacrifice and all others who served, least we forget. And the fence around it is dedicated by and donated by the World War II memorial fence constructed and donated by James Curran, General Contractor Incorporated in 1996. He died last year, but he was very generous to Holyoke throughout his life. And we're going to go around the 5 other sides and see at least one person on each side. Okay, on this side here, there's one Congressional Medal of Honor winner. He is on this side, the 5th one down. His name is Raymond Beaudoin. And Raymond Beaudoin is buried in South Hadley, Massachusetts at the Notre Dame Cemetery. He was originally buried in Europe, but they brought his body back here. He saved many lives, maybe up to 30 lives in Europe, by running out from the hole that his men were trapped in and distracting the Germans. And a lot of the men were able to save themselves by going on a back trail. He also then, he was still alive, he did the same thing and the rest of the men were able to get out. In a third attempt, he got shot by a sniper. He has, in this park, a memorial stone near the center, and that was put in place a few years back. Now remember, there's 212 names here, there's 5 sides with names, so it's about 45 names on each one of the given sites, so that's a lot. You can see throughout here many names familiar to Holyoke. Near the bottom there's a Henry Huff. He went off to war with his brother and he died in Europe. Many of these men have their own story to tell. It's sad that a lot of them had to be left behind in the big cemeteries of Europe. On this side, which is the middle side, you can see in the very bottom, Ignatius Maternowski, chaplain. He was a chaplain in Europe. That means a Catholic or Protestant minister who is not only ordained, but also is made into an officer. And he was out on the fronts during D-Day. And even though he had both a white cross on his jacket and a white cross on his helmet, a German sniper still hit him with gunfire, and he died on the beaches of Normandy. Very sad, because he was administering to a wounded man on the shores. He also was brought back from Europe and is buried in Notre Dame Cemetery the Mother Della Rosa Cemetery of South Hadley. And he also has a park inside of Holyoke called the Maternowski Park. On this side right here, halfway down, there's a Joseph Muller. He's a Congressional Medal of Honor winner. He died in the Philippines, and his body is buried at the Cemetery of the Pacific in Honolulu, Hawaii. Muller Bridge between South Hadley and Holyoke is named after Joseph Muller. He again was a very brave person to get that medal. It really should be called the Presidential Medal of Honor. You have to have saved many people's lives at some point. And what he did was very similar to Beaudoin. He went out during at a very dangerous place to distract the Japanese, and they tried to shoot him, and when he allowed the men to escape behind him, And he did it again, and he got shot this time, and he died. Left side. Okay, this is the fifth side and has the end of the alphabet here. It goes from R, a Regan, to a Zabrowski at the very end. On this side, you again see many names that are common around Holyoke, but about the 12th name down is Joseph Ruszyck. His body was lost somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. His plane was shot down, and the body was lost and never found. He has a cenotaph at the Monte della Rosa Cemetery of South Hadley, Massachusetts. The day before he died, he made a voice recording and he mailed it to his relatives back in Holyoke, and they got it, and they had already had word that he died when he received the recording. But it's now on my website because his nephew has given me the recording, and you can listen to exactly what he was saying. And so we're going to go now around here, and hopefully you can see all the married men and the beautiful sights around here. It's a beautiful monument.